tires have arrived. I am going to remove these. I'll show you what tools you need, and take the wheels, new tires, down to Pete's house. He has a Rabaconda. I've never used them before, but I want to see how much easier it is to install tires with one of those machines. 6mm Allen for the front wheel pinch bolts, 14mm for the front wheel, rubber mallet, 21mm socket for the rear wheel. I'm going to go ahead and loosen some of these things before I lift the bike off the ground. These are the pinch bolts in the front. There's 2 of them. This will be the 14mm. I'm curious to see what tires Pete is rocking this season. He's been dual sporting, adventure bike riding around the world for quite some time now. 21mm socket. And I'll show you what tires I picked out once we get down there. I want something a little bit more aggressive for this bike for off-road. Here we go. That wasn't too tight on there. Now I can go ahead and lift the bike off the ground. Just enough so we get those tires off. Go a little bit lower. Once we pop the rear tire off, the bike's gonna go forward, so we don't want it too high off the ground. I went ahead and strapped the bike to the lift. Don't need this thing falling over on me. Now we can remove the axle. Rubber mallet, you can just knock. If you don't have a rubber mallet, don't ruin your hand. Just take your foot and kick that sucker free. This one went up fairly easy. Lift a little bit. There's your axle. Push forward, chain, pull back, and there's your rear wheel. Don't lose any of these spacers. I just always take them out. And to remember what side they go on, so it makes it faster putting it back on, I just kind of lay them out to the sides of the bike they belong on. Back at the front of the bike. Just go ahead and keep twisting. Front axle. It'll come out. Okay, there it goes. And there's that one. It should slide right out. Spacer. And there's our front wheel. I'm gonna load these up and we're off. I already have the front tire on the Rabaconda. Pete is right behind me.
So you just,
oh, perfect.
Set out, slip it in there, and then
tripod. Of course I forget something. We already set the bottom pieces here. Gives you a number, so you set it to your rim size. Tires on here. You can change out the, I guess, spindle size. Here's the lever. And Pete's just gonna give me a low-down breakdown on how to do it on the first tire, and then I'm gonna show you guys better on the rear tire.
close to the rim.
Close to the rim. Okay. Let me get the. I didn't get the valve yet. Let me pull her yet. I was kind of teasing the audience as well, because I mentioned you have been riding your 300 around the world pretty much, or you have part of it, but you also been to South America. So I was kind of teasing the audience that we're going to kind of pick your brain on your favorite tire you've been using recently.
I've been using the 07s.
The 07s?
Yeah. Well, and
the
then
Mitas?
Yeah, on the Honda.
On the Honda.
There's not very many tires that fit that size.
And I'll show you what I picked up here in a second. I'm kind of teasing everybody on what I picked up. It's a Mitas tire, and looks pretty grippy, that's for sure. Definitely more off-road oriented.
Looks very good. Yeah.
Let's jump into this tire change.
Set down, break the bead.
Okay.
Rotate it around. Find another good spot. Same thing.
Just kind of go little by little. Oh wow, it's already going. Wow, look at that. Wow, that thing just came right off.
I'm just gonna let you do it all. What am I doing here?
You can see her going. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
You won't be doing that on the rear.
Gosh, look at that.
Okay.
Rabaconda for the win, that's for sure. Bead Dawn tire mounting lubricant paste. So we just run it just
real thin, yeah, on both. Well, actually on the side that's going on first. Are you gonna put this side on first?
Yeah, I can flip it since we're dual directional. It won't really.
Just give that a good brush onto that.
So you do have to line these little dots with the valve stem. That is the lightest point of the tire. Is that correct?
I'm always trying to figure that out. It's the lightest point.
Lightest point. Okay.
It should be lined up directly next to the valve stem. There you go.
Great spoons, by the way.
Well, when you're dealing with stiff tires, that might make a difference. One more shot and you should have it.
Let's see. Do I have a good grip in there? I think so. Jeez.
Come on, baby.
There she goes. Nice. Gonna be a loud pop on that side. There's one. This is how you adjust the bottom parts of this Rabaconda. Really easy. So here's your number. 18-inch rim, done. 18-inch rim,
Right there.
and done. Well,
Yeah,
when he's stuck
you
out
deal
there in the
with it when
middle of
you have to.
nowhere.
I've only had to deal with 2 front tires. One was on my son's bike. And one was on mine.
There it goes. All right.
That is easier than the Bead Buddy or whatever not Bead Buddy, but the Motion Pro things. Place that weight with a different one.
Here's a static balancer. Pete just got finished up with the front tire. We'll show you how to use this with the rear.
Look at you.
There she goes. The good news is Pete is a home brewer, and we have a brew tap right there, so.
Don't spread that word. They'll be knocking on my door.
For those of you that aren't familiar with static balancers, here's a quick lesson for you.
You just find the heavy spot will always fall to the bottom.
So right now we're just waiting for the.
Once it settles down, we'll find out where that is. In this case, it's going to be close, but probably not at the bow stem.
So that is our heavy spot, and Pete's going to mark it with a little piece of tape.
Yeah.
And just give it a little spin. We'll see if it drops again. Looks like it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Might
quick.
take a little bit more weight than the front did. But yeah.
So we're using these little Motion Pro adhesives. And Pete actually mentioned how fantastic these rims are for sticking these on.
'Cause they give you a nice surface area right there in the center, so you don't have to worry about going each side and trying to even it up. And yeah, no, that's great. It's interesting how the little things
Yeah.
can actually have a kind of a
Right.
big difference. Make life easier. You got to give these guys credit. Did they rationally think this through, or is that just a circumstance of accident or engineering? But my argument is they seem to have thought a lot of things through, which is kind of nice. Nice touch.
Well, I guess the secret is out. You can tell what tires I have. They are the Mitas Enduro Trail XT Plus. So at this point, Pete's going to go direct opposite of the heavy point where the wheel's falling, and we're going to put a little weight and see what happens. Oh, she's still dropping.
Oh, it's going to take more than that, isn't it? I have a feeling it's going to take a lot more than that, actually. I'll let you go ahead and put them on here however you like. The ones that
All right. So it looks like we got her balanced. So this was our heavy point, correct? The tape.
Yeah.
So our weights are on the opposite side. So if you just go about 50-50 and let go, should be, yeah, that's good. Barely going. And that is a balanced tire.
Awesome.
Well, Pete, appreciate it. Not only for using the Rabaconda,
You're welcome.
the
No problem.
balancer there, but as well as some delicious home
All
brew.
right, cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah, I lowered the bike down before I left. Okay, so I left everything where it's supposed to be, left and right. Here are the little spacers. There's another one on the right side. I do recommend taking out the ABS sensors. There's one in the front as well before taking the wheels off because you could nick them. I cannot wait to try out this rear tire. I did rock an Enduro Trail XT Plus in the front on my T7 and a MotOz Rallz in the rear. I love that combo. I'll throw a link to that video in the description box below if you want to check out my first day with that tire combo on the T7. Beautiful. Almost done with the rear. Oh, since I'm at home, I always like cleaning the tread on these. Just because you run it through and get some grease on there. So I'll just clean that off. Some contact cleaner. Now the manual called for between 77 and like 81 foot-pounds of torque, so I have my torque wrench here. I'm gonna crank her down, and the rear is set. Make sure we're up against the adjusters here. One. Okay. No fresh grease needed on any of this. They did a really nice job from factory. Same thing, be careful of the ABS sensor if you don't remove that. I typically do. I was just in a rush to get out of here in the morning and completely space that out. The little spacer goes on the disc side. Okay, back to the 14 mil Allen. And then we just screw this front axle back in. I couldn't find the torque spec on this, but I was going to hand crank it since we do have the pinch bolts. Same thing with the pinch bolts, it's going to hand crank. If you want torque specs, look it up on Google. Now with these pinch with the clamps, you gotta go back and forth with them. Don't just go one and done. Go back and forth. I'm just gonna crank them down. All right. The Mitas look fantastic on the 450 MT. I am headed to the Rocky Mountain ATVMC second annual ADV rally in Mesquite, Nevada at the end of the month, and I cannot wait to try these out. If you guys are interested in picking up a Rabaconda, I will throw a link down in the description box below to RockyMountainATVMC.com. It is an affiliate link. Anything you pick off that website through that link will give the channel a little bit of a kickback, as well as that link will lead to my top picks off their website. Tire combos, clothing, luggage, all that good stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next one.